just take anything that's posted on social media and just blow it up and try to think for you. I don't take it too seriously. They make it seem like I'm talking to the Ravens when I'm not. Our contract discussion is going on already, but it ain't about that though, period. All right, let's talk about that a little bit more when it comes to quarterbacks with Jeremy Fowler. Does a great job as ESPN NFL reporter. Always great to have him join us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Jeremy, what was your reaction to Lamar Jackson's reaction, what Bleach Report put out there about I Need Dollars, which was something from the movie How High?
Yeah, certainly I will take Lamar Jackson at his word, and I'm not going to try to interpret what he's saying. But, when that's put on social media at this time, what is it, July 11th, we're 2 weeks from training camp when contract talks could heat up. The time is very opportune for Lamar Jackson to post that. So it does feel like a message at least has been sent, whether that was unintended or not. This is a player that I'm told has had resolve through this entire process. He's willing to wait it out for the right deal that's commensurate for his skill set as a former MVP. And the guy's won 37 regular season games in his career, in a very short career. So, the Ravens know they have work to do on this front. They just haven't been there as far as bridging the gap on the money, so they're going to have to get to work on that.
Well, like Lamar said, though, we getting there. We already working on that and everything. But far too often, though, as you know, Jeremy, the first thing that happens as soon as you cast a line, people bite. Mm-hmm. And whether or not Lamar speaking to the Ravens, he's certainly speaking to the people that's going to chase it. He knows, and he ain't doing nothing but watch this. Watch these fools chase this and make a big story out of it, even though I'm taking something from a movie and posting it on my social media. I can communicate with the team directly to tell them they got to give me more money. So players, people send stuff out there all the time, sending you left while they go right. And the first thing people do is they run and they try to speak for the athlete. So I certainly understand what Lamar Jackson is saying. No question about it. He's not sending a message to the Ravens. He's just basically clowning and allowing people to chase it just like Bleacher Report did.
See, maybe, Key, and I get your point, but we've seen players have used social media to send direct messages to the team. We've seen that with Kyler Murray scrubbing his social media. We've seen it with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, but think about it, though,
similar.
Jeremy. But think about it. Kyler Murray did that. There was zero communications 24 hours after he was eligible for the extension. Lamar's been negotiating with them for how long now? 9 months, 10 months, a year, 3 years? I mean, it's been going on for a long time. So he doesn't need to send a social media message to to the Baltimore Ravens. He could just communicate with them and say, yo, y'all got to give me more money.
You would think so, and they've been talking, but if he feels like, okay, they haven't stepped up to that range that they need to be in, maybe I'll send this subliminal shot. Now, again, I'm not saying that was his plan because he's making clear in his comments to USA Today that that's not what he's doing. But whether it's unintended or not, it gets a message across to Baltimore. I guarantee the Ravens saw that and probably figured, okay, maybe that's a nice message for us, a nice reminder for the next couple months as we negotiate with him.
And we athletes tend to do things, Jeremy, because we know how y'all gonna react. And I say y'all because you're more of a reporter than me, so you're going to react to it a certain way, and we know that. We already know. Even though Tom Brady does it, Aaron Rodgers does it, they all do it. And the first thing people do, Freddie, is they bite.
And a lot of people bit, and Lamar Jackson, hold on, I'm not that kind of fish you need to bite. Great stuff by Jeremy Fowler, ESPN NFL reporter, joining us here at Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Speaking of Lamar Jackson, you talked to a bunch of league executives, coaches, and players and compiled the list of the NFL's top 10 quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, number 1, Patrick Mahomes, number 2, Josh Allen, number 3, Tom Brady, number 4, Joe Burrow, number 5, Matthew Stafford, number 6, Justin Herbert, number 7, Russell Wilson, number 8, Deshaun Watson, number 9, and Dak Prescott, number 10. Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, all honorable mentions. Why do you believe that Lamar Jackson did not make the top 10 on that list?
Well, some of that is easy math. So what I do is I put together a composite ranking. I poll dozens of scouts, execs, and players and coaches around the league. Who's your top 10 at this position? And I do 11 positions. Today's quarterback. And the way it fell is last year Lamar Jackson came in 8th place. And this year he got jumped by Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, who had massive second years. And then Deshaun Watson is back on the list at number 9, which, is a difficult situation. We don't know how long he's going to play this year. Wasn't on the list last year, and so that opened a spot for Lamar. Now those 3 spots are gone. That moves him from 8 to 11. But, talking to people around the league, they say, look, he didn't have the best year as a passer, struggled with the blitz at times, and that offense, it's difficult to be a pure pocket passer when you major in running the ball and minor in passing, where other quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, who edged him for that 10 spot, more of a pure pocket passer, more of a pass-first offense. Lamar doesn't have that luxury.
Yeah, and I think when Jeremy does a terrific job, Jeremy Fowler joining us this morning, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max does a terrific job at putting this information together. But here's what I would say. When you speaking to scouts and general managers and personnel people, head coaches and all them, they like some things. They like certain things.
Yes.
And 90% of that list is pocket passers. There's no question about it, maybe even higher than that. And that's not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is in a league of his own all by itself. Here's what I would say to that. And I would challenge each and every one of those individuals that you spoke with. Lamar Jackson can do everything that those other guys can do. He's shown that. Those other guys can't do what he can do. That's the difference. That's why he already has an MVP trophy. He may not be the best passer, so to speak, that they like and what they're looking for. And you mentioned the Ravens offense, but he is what the Ravens like and what they were looking for when they moved on from Joe Flacco. That's why they're in conversations in a $200 million plus contract for Lamar Jackson. Yeah. So I always find it not necessarily funny, but puzzling how scouts and general managers assess people. They get to breaking things down. Well, he does this at the last 5 seconds of a game, and he throws this, and he does that. He's always hurt. I already know without even reading your report what that probably says, because that's the way they think, opposed to that dude is really good, and I can win a lot of games with him.
Right. And there are a lot of people that think just like you, Key, but they don't put him in the top 5. That's the problem. He got a lot of votes that were like 7th, 8th, 10th, and then he was on maybe half the ballots. So he didn't make a lot of the top 10 rankings. He had enough to maybe make it interesting with Dak Prescott for that 10th spot. The issue is people were waiting for him to make another jump as a passer, and he had a QBR rating of the low 50s. I think it was like 17th or 18th ranked in the league. Very middle of the road. Struggled with the blitz, so didn't always get it done as a passer the way people would like.
Jeremy, in your opinion, how many elite quarterbacks are in the NFL?
Elite? Well, we're talking about tiers here, right? Like, if we're talking Dak Prescott, he's not in the top tier, so he's in that second tier. I would say they're really like the 4 guys at the top. Those are guys that you can say, I'm going to put that guy on any roster, and he's going to win, and we have a chance to win a Super Bowl, right? So to me, that's Mahomes, that's Aaron Rodgers, that's Josh Allen, that's Tom Brady. And then you have Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert are knocking on that door.
You said have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Is that what you
I'm
said,
talking
Jeremy?
about like those are transcendent guys. You put them in any, really any team, any scheme, throw all that out the window. You put them on the team. Those 4 give you the best chance to win a Super Bowl, like if you're building a team.
I only got 3.
Okay.
And that would be Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. I understand that. I understand